I feel like things in my life have been completely different lately, kind of in the best ways. And yeah, not every moment has been super perfect or like amazing, but for the most part, things have been going really well. It's been hard because I've had a hard time trying to be sincere again on this channel and be open about like who I am and what's going on, and honestly that kind of goes against the entire channel idea of like why I started everything. I started everything to like be open and honest about my journey and how I've been spiritually healing, the things I'm learning, the things I'm doing, what I'm working on, things like that. That's always been a core part of my channel, and lately I've kind of had a lack of that. I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things again by playing games and everything, but yeah, like, I've definitely had this, like, lump in my throat of, like, trying to get back on track with everything. And it's not even trying to get back to where I was, more of, like, where I'm going right now and trying to figure out what that means for me, what that looks like for me. And I think the first step to achieving that is to just talk about where I'm at. I have just been feeling completely different. And like, yeah, there's a lot of things about me that are still very much the same to my core. I've stayed the same person throughout my life. But I've definitely, through a lot of my healing and everything, started reopening the door on, like, connecting with myself and becoming a new version of myself and trying to explore what that looks like, trying to understand where that's gonna lead me. There are old parts of me that I really love and cherish, and there are some old parts that, like, I want to just be done with, essentially, and get rid of. And then there are new parts that I'm trying to, like, fit in place with some of the older parts that I like, and it's just this weird, like, thing right now of not really knowing where everything fits into place. I feel like right now in life, one of my bigger goals has been to kind of escape the idea of time. And I guess what I mean by that is, like, I'm trying to get into that place of, like, childhood kind of energy where it's like you're sitting there bored out of your mind. So bored, but it's so silent and so peaceful, and everything just feels distant. And then, after long enough time of boredom and silence and peacefulness, comes creativity, ideas. And I feel like I have been trying to chase down this feeling over and over and over again recently. It's not always easy to find, but I've been reconnecting with it a lot more, and I think I am in a privileged position to be able to have some semblance of like space and time to find this distance, this like in between of everything else. I found myself a lot lately trying to create the idea of nostalgia again, but with things that I've never experienced before. So, for instance, things that are so nostalgic for other people that I've never experienced, like the Percy Jackson books I just started reading, and I never read them as a kid, so I'm starting to experience that kind of nostalgia in the moment. I never got to have that connection as a kid, so I'm like experiencing that now in my 20s. And there's been a lot of that lately, like with video games. I've been playing Mario Double Dash for the first time, and Luigi's Mansion for the first time. I started playing beta Minecraft for the first time because the first version I played I think was on Xbox 360, so I don't know what version that was. But I started playing beta Minecraft, and yeah, it's that whole thing of experiencing nostalgia in a way that, like, I don't technically have nostalgia for that because I never experienced it while I was a child, but I'm experiencing that same kind of feeling that I would have, like, the feel-good kind of vibes. I feel like I'm just trying to experience, like, life as you should within your 20s, because I feel like your 20s and 30s are supposed to be such a fun experimental time. You're still learning about yourself, but like you're learning about the adult version of you versus like all the versions before yourself, and it's like really trying to come into my own and like understand the world separate from all of the past stuff that I've been through. And it's been positively magical going through all of it and like exploring new things. A couple of other things that I've been getting into to sort of explore new things and learn like new stuff. I've been trying to learn coding so I can code my own website. I'm not very good at it yet. But it is a step in a direction that I want to be in, and it has been extremely difficult learning it on my own, other than through YouTube and stuff like that. But I have been taking great patience and care to like keep myself working through it and keep learning, and even though I feel really stupid and like a newbie at everything, it's just been an awesome feeling to get back into like being a student in a sense for the first time in a long time. And the biggest reason I have been getting into coding to make a website is because one day one of my bigger goals is I want to make a video game. I've talked about that before, but I don't think I really go into detail that much. Doing the website thing is like to help me practice with coding, and I know it's two different kinds of like coding, but I felt like it would help me kind of dip my feet into the water sort of thing and like get used to how it feels and what it looks like. Essentially the idea of like learning the language of coding, so to speak. I've been practicing with my art too, because I'm trying to connect more with pixel art and learn how to do pixel art more. I want to add some of my pixel art stuff to my website, so I'm really going to dive back into all of that and start working on my pixel art again, and hopefully that'll be fun to add it to a website. I'm not going to share any of that here because I'm still practicing. Nothing's like formally all the way together or anything, but maybe once something is kind of scrapped together and looks nice, maybe I'll share that with everyone. I also feel like lately I have been doing a lot of fun stuff that I've never done before, or some stuff I have done before, but it's just like some of the stuff where you just like know it's so you and you like haven't done it in a while and it feels really good when you do. I recently went to a mini convention and I'll show some videos here of that. Essentially just like, I have enjoyed convention, like anime convention life, and even like comic book conventions and stuff like that since I was a kid. It's always been something that I've adored and something I love, and it's something that just feels so me, and I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel so connected and so like surrounded by people of similar kind of interest, and I whipped out my Naruto cosplay for that one, so that was a lot of fun. And it was during Pride Month, so I got to sport some pride flags around. It was a really good time. Something also I didn't get to talk about is that I have a tattoo now. I have my first tattoo, and you can kind of see it a little bit. He is a super cute little frog boy with a sweater, and I talked about in another video, like, planning on going to get one, and yeah, it finally happened. The last Friday the 13th we went in, honestly early in the morning we got it done, like I think around 10 or something, and I can't tell you how nervous I was to do that because something permanent on your body seems so like crazy, and I was terrified it was gonna hurt a bunch, but it really wasn't that bad, and it was kind of a small one anyways. He was $50, so if you are curious on like sizing and like kind of what you can get for a Friday the 13th sale, that's about average, I guess, so got a little dude. My ultimate goal is to just have a bunch of tattoos all over my arms at some point. I've always kind of wanted that. I think one day I want to get some snake bites too. That would be really sick. But that's kind of far off, and we'll do it slowly over time. It's not going to be all at once. But yeah, that was like a crazy hard thing to do for me because I was afraid of like, I don't know, like getting a tattoo is kind of on a different level, especially for someone like me because I'm super spiritual, so I take everything in spiritual meaning. And this tattoo, I didn't pick out personally, or I didn't like make a plan to get this specific one. I saw him on the Flash wall or on the Flash sale, like on their Instagram, I think a couple of days beforehand, and I decided on the spot that that was the one that I wanted to get. So it was kind of fun doing something really just chaotic and on the point, and it feels like that's kind of where my life is heading, is like good surprises and a little bit of chaos, but with such good feeling and with such good faith and hope and love. And yeah, I'm really happy about him, and I'm still like trying to understand the fact that it's permanent. Like I keep getting afraid that I'm gonna like wipe it off by mistake or something, but that's not how that works. I think physically and mentally I'm coming to a place of like I genuinely have everything that I could ever really want in this life. And yeah, there's still a lot of things that I want. Like a lot of things. I don't think I'll ever stop desiring to do more or be passionate to like find more, but like there's a real set of acceptance in my life, and I'm starting to like understand what that looks like, especially past trauma and everything. It's hard to like be satisfied in peace when you are always expecting there to be upheaval, I guess. I'm just learning that like anything that I desire, I can create. I'm in a safe place to do whatever I want. The universe has genuinely, I feel like, blessed me, and things are crazy in the world right now, and that scares me, but I am also in a blessed position that I can still vote. I can still fight for what I believe in, and I'm just really grateful to have all of these opportunities in front of me, and truly I feel so blessed by the universe right now. I get to create, and I get to trust the process of like what my creating process looks like. I get to trust the timeline of what that will look like for me and not force anything, or like I don't even have to feel bad like if I'm not doing everything the way everyone else would do things. I don't want to do things the way everyone else is. I don't want to like follow a certain path that everyone else is already following, because like I am beginning to trust my vision of what my path looks like, and I'm getting to trust how I want to find success and happiness in my own life, and that feels really exciting. I've been learning that every time I meet failure is another reason to be even more excited, because I'm that much closer to success for my goals. I have so much experience through my failures now, and sure, there are a bunch of failures through everything I've been doing, especially recently with like coding and stuff. Like, you learn a lot that you don't know what the hell you're doing most of the time. But through that failure, you start to learn, like, what works and what will work versus what's not working. One of the most important lessons I've been learning is I'm not in competition with anyone any longer. For so long, I used to really sit there and judge myself compared to every single person around me, especially those within the same, like, workspace, I guess, so to speak. Like, YouTube and, like, the pagan YouTube community, I used to really, really have a rough time comparing myself to every single person out there who's doing it and who I thought was succeeding and who looked the part, who was playing the part. I don't really have that much anymore, and if it does come up, it's just kind of like, I don't know, I get to realize, like, what in them is what do I see in them that I wish I could see in me, and then how do I start to, like, implement that in my life, instead of, like, holding this line of competitiveness, or, like, this line of, like, I'll never get to where they are. I think I just don't want to be where everyone else is anymore. Currently in my life, I feel like it's been kind of an endless summer sort of vibe. Like, I've just been getting to, like, play and just, like, reconnect, find nostalgia where I never had it, in a sense. I'm exploring, experiencing new things, learning to trust myself, trust my failures. I'm learning to trust that I don't have to do anything anymore. I've already put in hard work. I've already done the healing. I don't have to be any kind of person. I don't have to, like, show off in any certain way. I just am myself. And that's good enough. And I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy that, like, I'm learning to trust myself as a person. I'm beginning to love life in all its different shapes and sizes and chaos, and not every day is a perfect day, but every day is an imperfect day, and I'm happy to be in it peacefully. I'm happy to accept it. I'm happy to know that I have more than enough. I have everything I could ever want. I don't know exactly how to portray all of these emotions, but especially on my channel. But I do know that I want to keep doing video game stuff. I want to keep sharing my passions. I want to make more videos with friends and stuff. And I'm at a place where I don't want to hold myself back anymore, so I don't know. Get ready, YouTube, because there is a new Littlecosmiccrow hitting the site, and yeah, she's looking to fucking just have some fun, be chaotic, and begin her endless summer. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, much love. Bye!